With the Banjo-Kazooie franchise back in the gaming limelight, it looks like more rumors around this franchise's next game might be circulating. But let's break that all down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. So, it's widely known by now that Banjo-Tooie will indeed be making its way over to Nintendo Switch Online, and that's all fairly soon. And it was some very welcome news to get last week. This is a franchise that holds a special place in my heart because Banjo-Kazooie was a game I played for countless hours on the N64 back when I was a little Kalo. And for what seems like ages now, I've been shouting at Xbox to do something, anything with this franchise, seeing how there is a clear demand for it by the general public. Now, how truly loud that demand is could vary depending on who you ask, but like I said in a video last week, I do think Banjo-Tooie going over to NSO will be a nice little litmus test to see what actually is there. And that long road of me shouting into the ether all leads us up to what transpired over the weekend. And this was posted up on the Reset Era forums. Quote, so Spanish YouTuber and personality, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that, but you get what I mean, was recently at a flight sim event. Aaron Greenberg was there too. PR person apparently asked fans which games they wanted to see again. They answered Banjo-Kazooie, and apparently Aaron said, quote, nobody cares about Banjo-Kazooie. Now when this story hit the web, it took off and multiple outlets began to cover it. Now, I for one am a little bit apprehensive when it comes to this kind of story, and I'm gonna kind of put my bias for the franchise aside. If Xbox internally didn't really think that a new Banjo game would sell well in 2024 or past that, I don't think a person who is high up on the Xbox food chain like Aaron Greenberg would flat out squash any hope for that game, let alone talk negative about it. Now, this is where one of my favorite content creators out there, JWood2010, reached out directly through Twitter, and that's to get a more clear stance on Greenberg's stance. Greenberg then replied, quote, correct. I absolutely know how much Banjo means to our fans and gamers everywhere. It holds a special place in my heart growing up playing these classic games. So that's some great news, getting a little bit more clarity on his stance here, which when we talk about anything when it comes to rumors and hearsay, context is always key. Now, I think when it comes to Banjo and that fan base, specifically there's a lot of unrest, since the last game we got was Nuts and Bolts way back when, and it goes without saying, that really wasn't a true Banjo experience that we all knew from older titles. And I'm gonna die on this hill, I know people have their thoughts on Nuts and Bolts, mainly this is all negative, but I actually like that game. But I've always been in this camp that Xbox should heavily reconsider remastering those older games. And again, I think Toys for Bob makes too much sense here. And that's all if Rare really isn't up for it. They've done quite an amazing job when it comes to the Crash Insane trilogy, along with the Spyro Reignited trilogy. So their track record there when it comes to remasters and remakes, it's pretty flawless. Those games sold fairly well, and again, that's for 3D platformers in the modern era. So I think that all but proves there is a market for a game like this. And when you begin to factor in even more recent games like Astrobots, or I'm really stretching here, Psychonauts 2, again, people really dig these kind of games. And to give myself hope along with fellow Banjo fans watching this, Kalo Brielle shared their take on this matter when it comes for what's next for Banjo and Xbox. Quote, basically every longer Xbox discussion I've had with someone from Xbox these last several years at some point was about Banjo-Kazooie and other legacy IPs. They know. It's fair to keep asking. But in the end, this is solely about finding the right team and the right time. So I guess as of right now, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they decide to bring Banjo back to life. Hopefully that's sometime soon because I'm getting testy. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this off to you guys. What do you think about a Banjo revival? Do you think it's fair that it goes down sometime soon? And do you think we ever see a brand new game? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.